It's Lael with Lael by Mail. In this video, I am going to do a flip through of my 2021, gosh, I had to think about the year, of my 2021 completed December daily album. So I just barely finished the 25th today. That was the last day I had to do, but it just took me a couple weeks to get there. Anyhow, it is, oh my gosh, look at that. It is so full, it won't even stay closed. I had done a flip through of, I think I'd done 2 flip throughs up until this point, maybe the first 5 days and a couple days after that. Anyhow, so we'll do a flip through of the whole thing. I always like to add a little kind of something to the spine. So this year I have just a little ornament and it is tied on to some ribbon. As we open up, I have used, I put together a kit. So this is my 2021 December documented project kit, and that is what I used for the base, but then added all kinds of things as I was working on it throughout the month. I've used the Simple Stories Make It Merry binder for the base of my project this year, but did a little intro here talking about the fact that this is my 14th year. I've got a little sticker coming off, my 14th year of doing one of these projects. And it is by far one of my very, very, very favorite projects that I do every year. I shouldn't even say one of my, it is my most favorite project that I do every year. It's just so special. And this being the 14th one, I have 14 years worth of December memories, and it is so fun to pull those albums out every once in a while and just kind of look through them and be reminded of, some of our traditions and, kind of important things as my kids grow up that happened around the holidays and so forth. So there we go. All right, let's jump in. So the beginning of December this year or I should say last year, still trying to get used to the change in the year, but found us in Hawaii. My husband has to go, I shouldn't say has work in Hawaii. And so usually about once a year we end up there, and this year it was December. So definitely a perk of his job and obviously a perk of being married to the wonderful man. So I had found this postcard while I was there, and I thought that would be a really fun way to kind of kick off the first. So have done, there's a photo of us, of course, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful setting and surroundings. And this was a little umbrella for the drink, and just a little bit of journaling about that. And also included that would be, I don't know, the pool card or something from the hotel. So that was the first. For the second, I have a fun little interactive element here. So it's like a door with a latch and a lock. So this would be the latch. This would be the lock. And then as we open that up, there is a very famous bakery. And this is, I think it's in a couple of different places in Hawaii. This is in Waikiki area. Called Leonard's Bakery, and they do something called malsadas. So we were with friends, and we kind of hit Leonard's and then went on a big hike so we could work off the malsadas. I added a smaller pocket page here to hold the photo, and then a photo from our hike, and then a photo just overlooking kind of that entire bay area, and then a sticker from the store as well. And then that little guy just goes right there, and the latch just kind of locks everything up. Had to include a photo, this photo, Mele Kalikimaka, which in Hawaii, I'm trying to sing the song in my head. Merry Christmas, I believe, right? Anyhow, I thought that would be fun to include because yes, that's a song, and I know the song from, I think it's Christmas Vacation. So that was kind of fun to include. For the third, I did a transparency, and this was a printable that I purchased from in a Creative Bubble, and then I just printed it on a transparency versus printing it on cardstock. So it was kind of a fun little overlay. It was actually colored, and before I printed it, I changed it to black and white because the colors that were part of that didn't really coordinate with what I had going. So that was kind of a fun little thing to add there. This is one of the inserts that was part of the Simple Stories album, and it was a calendar. So in order to really call out the third, I just added a 3 sticker over the top. Just from one of my walks while we were there, I took a little photo and then used this app is called Weather Shot. And so it is app that I use on my iPhone, but it will pull up the information of where you are and the time of day, the sunrise, sunset, and then the temperature. So that's always kind of a fun thing to include. The 4th, our youngest son, he turned 21 on the 4th. So it's been really fun. Obviously, the 4th of December is his birthday every year. So it's been really fun to look at my past December daily albums and just see his birthday every year. But here I cut a pocket page. So this originally was a pocket page that had 4 3x4 pockets. And I just cut the right pockets off and then made a little shaker and then used my fuse from We Are Memory Keepers to just kind of enclose all those little guys in there. Added some stickers to the top, and there we go. Here he is standing in front of a tradition that we've had for our kids since they were little, called the birthday door. The night before their birthday, after they've gone to bed, traditionally, we would decorate their bedroom door like a giant birthday present. So wrapping paper, a bow, and then tape all kinds of either money or, well, money as they got older. When they were young, little toys and candy and different things like that. Now, we're empty nesters now, so our son Sam does not live at home with us. So I ended up decorating the coat closet door in our house. So when he came over for dinner, he was very surprised to see that. Now, here's a little tip. He actually turned 21 when we were still in Hawaii. And we did this little birthday dinner before we left town. So I don't get really hung up on whether or not the things I'm documenting actually happened. So his birthday's the 4th, right? But we actually celebrated probably on November 29th. And that's fine with me. I don't let that stop me because this is what I wanted to record when I did. So a little bit about his birthday, and then made a little pocket back here and added a photo and then a little bit of journaling, a little bit more journaling in the pocket. For the 5th, I created another little door. I like to call this, it's kind of a combination door. It's a dog door, so a door that hinges from the top and opens from the bottom, and then either an oven door or a mailbox door. So hinges from the bottom, opens from the top. And here we were flying home on the 5th. And so as we were leaving Hawaii, I took a photo out of the window and did a little bit of journaling. So that was a long day of travel. I still need to add a little something here. I just realized I haven't added anything there, so I'll figure out what I'm going to add there. For the 6th, I took another transparency, so I cut that down to 6x8, and then stapled this really large, awesome felt number. That was one of the products that Allie Edwards had available this year as part of her December daily process and products. So I had bought those early on, thought that would be fun to include. Added some foam stickers, and then the little reindeer there is actually a cupcake topper. On the 6th, I joined some girlfriends for lunch. And so that's just a photo of us outside the restaurant for lunch. We did a fun little gift exchange. And so here I just have a photo of some of the little things that we exchanged. On the 7th, I did a peekaboo. I've kind of a lot of peekaboos in my album for this year. So this is I call it kind of a stoplight peekaboo. Stoplight because you have 1, 2, 3 circles. So almost like a red, a yellow, and a green. And so what I did here, I just took a piece of 6x8 pattern paper and punched 2-inch circles. So 1, 2, 3, and then did a little decorating here. On the back side, I have done a little bit of journaling about some new ornaments that I purchased for our tree this year. And then I added those the little ho 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 foam stickers on top of the pocket page. So now that little stoplight sits right over those stickers, and then just printed 3 little small 2x2 photos. On the back side, doing some documenting about our kids who are 24 and 21 now, and their Christmas lists. So now they text me what they'd like for Christmas. So I basically just do screenshots from my phone of their texts. I'll pull that out. There's a little pocket there. So I do screenshots, print that out on matte photo paper, and then those went just right in the pocket. And that's kind of fun because they send the links, but then you have the photos of, whatever it is, because those are coming through automatically on the links. So those just tuck right there in the pocket. Let me just get that back in there. Over here on the other side, I have used a large kind of die cut 8 to signify that is the 8th. And then I'm just doing a little bit of journaling here, talking about how things have changed over the years. And it used to be that they would write their letters to Santa for Christmas, and then after that, they would handwrite their lists. And now with technology, they're texting me links. And really, most of the shopping I do is online anyway, so that works really well. And there's kind of an example of that, our front porch with online shopping. On this side, we have the 9th, and for the 9th, we had a little neighborhood get together. There's some friends that I get together with the neighborhood, and we do that on a monthly basis, and we play bunco. And then the person hosting hosts the food and the wine and what have you. So that is what happened on the 9th. So I took a couple pictures of my friend's house. And her kind of little setup, and then just did another cut up pocket page. So this pocket page actually had 12 2x2 squares, and I just cut it so there were 4, and then added some stickers, and on the back just did a little bit of journaling, and there we have the 9th. On the 10th, I have another door. This would be a door that hinges on the left and opens on the right. Talked a little bit about wrapping, and wrapping is something, well, I actually talked a lot about wrapping. Wrapping is something that I am not a fan of, so generally I procrastinate. This year, I actually didn't though. I ended up getting it done on the 23rd, so I was very happy about that. So that was the 10th. On the 11th, I made this is another little shaker pocket, kind of, but there's nothing really in it that shakes. I took a 6x8 pocket page and I had made tinsel by taking some gold string and separated all the strands individually, and then put that into the pocket page. Again, used my fuse to seal the top of the pocket page. So that little tinsel is kind of in there. That reminds me of when I was younger, a kid. There was a decoration that we had in our home, and it was, my mom called it angel hair, and it was very delicate, and it was gold, and she always just said you have to be really careful because the strings will cut you. So that kind of reminds me of that. And then foam stickers on top. So that overlays on top of a large photo that I printed out, and this is a close-up of some things that we had on our front porch, some things that I put together on our front porch for the holidays. And on the back, I have another photo. So that photo's a little bit further back, so you can kind of see a little bit more of it. And then there are 1, 2, 3 pockets. And in each of those pockets, I just tucked a little bit of journaling, talking about what I had done on the front porch. Then we moved to the 12th. And the 12th, this is kind of going along with our theme of doors. I call these waterfalling dog doors. So we have a little star clip that holds everything together. This little piece moves down. And then we have our waterfalling dog doors. So this is a great way to add quite a few photos to a single page. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus my journaling. And there we go. That's waterfalling dog doors. I'll get that little guy back in there. On the 13th, so the 13th, I'm talking about getting our tree decorated. And Sam, our younger son, and his girlfriend came over and decorated the tree. So that just kind of super easy little spread there. And then on the back side, some more photos of kind of that process. On the 14th, gosh, the 14th feels like forever ago. I have to read this. The 14th. So one of the goals I had kind of set for myself towards the end of last year, kind of November timeframe, was to focus on, for the holidays, giving back. And so there were a couple of ways that I did that, or we did that as a family. We donated to the food bank. Golly, that totally just escaped me. Yes, we donated to the food bank, and then a couple neighbors again, and we went to the Youth Resource Center here in Salt Lake. And the Youth Resource Center is a It's a transitional home for kids that have aged out of foster care. So meant for kids that are like 17 to 22, I believe. It's a homeless shelter, but it's specifically for that age range. And so we prepared and served breakfast. So I added a couple of photos of us doing that. We did that at the center. Oh yes, the food bank donation. And then we did something that was really neat and it was very rewarding. And it's the same group of neighbors. We have a very close, active kind of group of friends in our neighborhood. But I think it was on the 14th. We went to a restaurant for breakfast and we had contacted the manager ahead of time and explained kind of what we wanted to do. And so the manager told us which server to ask for when we got there. And we had breakfast, paid for our breakfast, but then each of us brought $100. So we gave, I don't know, she received maybe about $1,100 for a tip. And that was somebody that was very in need of that. So that was a really neat thing to see. So, and a fun thing to participate in. And that was the 14th. The 15th, just a couple of kind of miscellaneous things, just some of my holiday favorites. So dressing up for holiday parties. My husband, Nick, brought some flowers for me, and that was a fun pop of color. Hallmark Christmas movies, the smells, and snow. So there we go, Hallmark Christmas movies. And I just I Googled Hallmark Christmas movies, found a photo that I liked that would work. Right-clicked, saved it to my phone, and then printed it out. I love pine scent, and so I just gathered a few of my pine-scented things together and took a photo, and then snow that day out our back door. The 16th, a little piece of vellum with gold foil doilies. There we go. That's a mouthful. On top. Talking about relaxing, which is not something that I do very often, especially during the holidays. So this night I had actually sat down to take a quick 15-minute break and ended up being an hour and a half. I grabbed my book, I grabbed a glass of wine, had the fire on and the lights of the tree, cozied up with a blanket. And that was just a really, really, it was just so needed. And I didn't intend to do it, but it just kind of turned into that, which sometimes those are the very best things, right? So I just did my journaling right on the back of that vellum. And I used a Sharpie to do that. And then it was fine. A little chipboard frame there. So the chipboard frame, I adhered directly to the top of the top pocket page. And then that piece slides underneath. For the 17th, the 17th is when we started planning a trip to the Rose Bowl. But both my husband and I are University of Utah alumni, and the U, that's what they're called, the U. The U won the Pac-12 championships and headed to the Rose Bowl. So this day we were kind of starting to plan the trip. And all of the pictures, none of them are mine. And I just, again, went to Google and found this image and this one and that one and right-clicked, saved to my phone, and then printed the photos out from there. So it was really easy to do. That's a great trick or tip. If you don't have a photo, go to Google. Pretty much you can find what you need there. All right, for the 18th. The 18th, 18th was a Saturday, and on Saturdays, I typically do something on my YouTube channel called List With Me Live. So I had taken a photo of kind of what it looked like, kind of the aftermath afterwards. And then as we open up to the middle, the little mascot kind of for my business is a squirrel. And that my friend Andy had designed Scatter the Squirrel for me. And she did that, at the beginning of January of 2021, I think. And then she kind of made me another version for Christmas. So I added that there. And then this is what I wore on the 18th for my YouTube Live. My friend Vicky had saw that sweatshirt on Zulily, and it was just perfect. And so I ordered it, and there I was. For the 19th. Oh, this was just a little die cut that was part of the book. So that is there. You can see the book is very full. So the pages will turn very gingerly from this point on. So for the 19th, I'm talking about making some Christmas cookies. So another tradition that I started with our boys when they were just little. I should probably mention, I'm not talking much about our older son, Jack, because he lives out of state. And so he wasn't home, unfortunately, with us this year for Christmas. So I don't want anyone to think that he's not a part of our family anymore. All right, so for the 19th, I had created this little pocket and just tucked a number of different things into the pocket. So a little journaling and some more of that little tinsel that I made, more journaling, more journaling. Oh, actually, that is the recipe for the cookies that we've always made. Sam and his girlfriend came over to make cookies, and there are the cookies. So there we go. Lots of things fitting in that little pocket there. On the back side, I did another waterfall, right? More waterfalling dog doors. So making cookies, the recipe, and then them after. On the 20th, so I've done another little peekaboo here. I love doing peekaboos like this. I just like, you know, being able to see what's coming. So here I left these two pockets blank and then added photos here. And well, I say blank. I didn't put anything in the pockets. I adhered things on top of the pockets. So my husband and I had headed up to a place where I grew up, Park City, Utah, early that morning to meet one of his customers for breakfast. So as we were headed up, kind of able to see the sunrise. And then this little barn is very iconic, historical barn as you're headed into Park City. And that is always, to me, that just reminds me of growing up. So I took a photo of that, and that I took a photo of literally from the car window as we were speeding by. And then a little bit of journaling there. On the 21st, little interactive element here. Just my husband and I call it the calm before the storm. We had just sat down that night together and played some gin and had a bottle of wine. So that was kind of fun. Not everything during the holidays has to be like, you know, really intricate and planned out. I just generally record whatever it is that we're doing. And there we were playing gin. We kind of have an ongoing game of gin and we keep score. And right now I owe him about $225. So we kind of go back and forth, but I'm definitely in a losing streak right now. Anyway, and we never pay out. We just it's fun to keep score. For the 22nd, and so I called this was the calm before the storm. We, every year for probably the last 15 years, with the exception of 2021, because of the pandemic, we have had or 2020, did we not? I don't think, oh no, sorry, with the exception of 2020, this is 21. I'm so messed up because it's now 2022. Anyhow, with the exception of 2020, because of the pandemic, we usually on Christmas night have a very large party at our house. Well, we have about, I don't know, anywhere between 20 and 30 people, and we do a full formal sit-down dinner. And so that's the storm, right? Playing the gin the night before was the calm before the storm, but this is when kind of all the planning really started happening. And I did some journaling there and then had some lists here. And this little guy was just something that a neighbor had given me on a little gift, and I thought that would be kind of fun to include. That same day, there was an amazingly beautiful sunset out our back window, our backyard. So I took just a little photo of that. On the 23rd, another tradition. When our kids say, what do you want for Christmas? This is always the top of my list. And unfortunately, again, Jack, our older son, lives out of state. So he did not join us this year, but to go snowshoeing. And we did that on the 23rd. Sam had the 23rd off from work. So we went up. This is maybe 20 minutes from our house and went snowshoeing. So that was a lot of fun. And here, just a large photo. And then these are acrylic numbers from, oh my goodness. I'm totally just I'm totally drawing a blank. I'm sure I'll think of it. Gosh darn it, I hate it when I do that. You know what I'll do? I will pop it on the screen, because when I edit the video, I'll pop it on the screen so you guys will see. But I used, I think quite a few times, her different acrylics. I used that here. I also used them on the 18th, and I think I used, maybe not, just maybe there in the 18th. Anyhow, definitely makes a big statement. And then that's just a little glitter snowflake there. On the back side, this is a card. A lot of times, I mean like a greeting card. So a lot of times over the holidays, I'll look for winter themed or Christmas themed greeting cards. And I just kind of add that to my stash of products for documenting December. And this was a perfect one. So I just adhered that to the back of the photo and then did a little journaling right there on the back. Added a little snowflake snowflake snowman tag. For the 24th, this is a bag, like a little kind of cotton bag that I had picked up from the Target One spot a couple of years ago. And it says, do not open until, and then below it said December 25th, right? But this was perfect to use for the 24th with chipboard numbers and a little star in the bag. And all I did was I just used my heavy duty We Are Memory Keepers hole punch to punch those holes. So that punched very easily through that cotton bag. But in the bag, that's when I tuck in photo and the journaling. So one of our traditions, again, for many years for the holidays has been on Christmas Eve to open up pajamas. And so we did that again this year. That's Sam and his girlfriend, and I got them kind of coordinating little jammies. And then on the back, just did a little bit of journaling about that. And that just tucks right into the pocket. And that takes us to the 25th. So for the 25th, I here took a 12 by 12 pocket page, and this is a 6 by 8 album. So I took a full 12 by 12 pocket page. I cut off that top row of pockets, and then I scored here so that that would fold in, let you see. If you didn't know, 99.9% of your 12 by 12 pocket pages, as long as they have 2 holes, will fit your albums that have 2 holes. So I didn't have to do any repunching or anything there. I took it one step further and then used my scissors to separate these 2 pockets. So you can see there, and that's a great way to add lots of photos in, again, a small space. This was a 6 by 8 piece of paper from a 6 by 8 pad. So I just cut that in half and tucked the top piece in the top part of the pocket, bottom piece in the bottom part. And as we open up, just some photos and a little bit of journaling from Christmas. Did a little bit of relaxating. Oh my goodness. Relaxation, did a little bit of relaxing, whatever we want to say, later in the day. And my husband and I watched a movie as we took a break after some of the getting ready for the party. And then on the back. So generally what we do, my husband's whole family comes over. So we had about 25 people and friends too. We have appetizers, we have dinner, then we play a game called Left, Right, Center for money. And that's always very fun. And so there you have it. That is my December daily for 2021. As much as I am glad to have this done, because it is always definitely a labor of love for the holidays. As I said, it is one of, hands down, my favorite projects to do every year, because it's just capturing these kind of memories and the day to day. And I certainly, for me, I wouldn't be able to do this all year, but there's just something special about the holidays and capturing a story a day or a photo a day through the holidays. And then each year kind of going back and looking at your memories and how you've documented them. So there you have it. In the description of the video down below, I have included a link to a playlist of, I think, my last 6 or 7 maybe flip through videos of the last 6 or 7 years of my December daily projects, if you'd like to take a look. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.